All right, y'all, different video format today. Obviously, sitting in my car. We've got a lot of family stuff going on this afternoon, so have to do this from the car and then get back to the family and enjoy the rest of our Sunday. But the Jaguars had training camp practice number 9 this morning. It was an unpadded practice. There were fans in attendance. It was a pretty good day of work. The Jaguars, from a team perspective, they obviously practiced special teams. They practiced from the strike zone offensively and defensively, and the strike zone they're calling is from inside the opposing 35-yard line. So they start right at the 34, try to score touchdowns from that spot. They also had 11-on-11 red zone. They had backed up on your own goal line a little bit, not right up on the goal line, but backed up pretty far into your own territory offensively. So those were kind of the big emphasis for team today, offense and defense. You did have Dennis Daly retire before practice. Hard to blame the guy. I mean, he's been going up against guys like Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen. But yeah, Dennis Daly did retire. So the Jaguars, obviously down an offensive lineman there. They did pick up Levi Wallace and they waived Aiden White. Aiden White, young guy, had made a couple plays in practice. Had an interception, had a pass breakup before. So a guy who's made some plays. But Jaguars decided to move on for Levi Wallace, somebody who has a lot of experience in this league at the cornerback position. He was out there today. We did see him. Did not see Jalen McLeod. Did not see Buster Brown, which is expected. Eric Armstead, didn't see him out there. He's dealing with a little bit of a back injury. Still no Cole Van Lannon, which is expected, or Caleb Bransaw. Both of those guys are not expected back anytime soon, not into the season necessarily, right? But Van Lannon's supposed to be out for training camp, Bransaw week to week. Mason Smith was still off to the side on the active/PUP list. Did not see Patrick McCary in the team portion of practice. Getting into some of the takeaways from today, I thought that the receivers were really up and down. Travis Hunter, mostly great, did have his first drop of training camp so far. And unfortunately, it was a really, really crucial drop. Popped it up, and guess who was waiting there? Johnny on the spot, Andrew Wingard got the interception. So that was Trevor Lawrence's only interception of the day. Really an unfortunate play for Travis, but is it something to get alarmed about? No. I mean, that's the guy's first drop of camp. You can't have drops that pop up and are then ripe for the taking for defenders, obviously. That's an unfortunate situation there for Travis, but he's been fantastic, and he really had another good day. He caught a touchdown pass. He got open several times, caught the ball all over the field. So that's an unfortunate mistake, but nothing to get too worried about. Good for Dewey Wingard being right there to capitalize on the offense's mistake, to capitalize on the receiver's mistake. And then he also did get a pass breakup against Brenton Strange. A pass I still think Brenton Strange should have been able to catch. Like, when Dewey got there, Strange should have been able to secure the catch by that point, in my opinion. But good play by Dewey, so very strong practice for him. And I do think it's pretty safe to say he's probably written in pencil in the Jaguars starting lineup right now at safety with Eric Murray, I would say. Maybe not written in pen, but it looks like he's probably the starter right now. Jack Kaiser was able to get a pick 6 off Nick Mullins in the red zone. I do not know what Nick Mullins saw on that one. Kaiser was kind of dropping back a little bit, but that was a read that Mullins should have seen the defender there. And Jack Kaiser probably would have gotten a pick 6. There was lots of green grass in front of him. Nobody really in position to chase him down. He's not by any means like the fastest linebacker on the planet, but he ain't slow either. I think he had a convoy. He probably would have got a pick 6 on that. So not a great play by Nick Mullins, but good for Jack Kaiser being able to capitalize on that. You also had Antonio Johnson getting a forced fumble from the safety spot over the middle of the field. Hunter Long had a nice grab. It was a nice delivery, but Antonio Johnson came in with a punch out from behind. And this is a guy who had a ton of forced fumbles in college. You haven't seen that a lot at the NFL level yet from him, but that's just a reminder that this guy knows how to do that and has done that at a pretty high level throughout his collegiate career. I thought Tank Bigsby really stood out. Another one where you might be able to write his name in pen as the Jaguars lead back back in terms of carrying the football. I think when you talk about passing situations, you're going to see other guys in there. I do think you're going to see a rotation, but I think Tank Bigsby is the Jaguars' number one running back in terms of carrying the football, and he looked really good today. His combination of size, explosiveness, physicality, and speed, and lateral quickness, it's really impressive, and I think he has pretty good vision. It's just all about holding on to the football for him, honestly. If he can hold on to the football, I think he's going to have a very good year for the Jaguars in their backfield. I thought Parker Washington had a great practice today overall. Somebody who probably locked in as the Jaguars' fourth receiver. He has special teams value. I think he can play inside, outside. I think he's more of an inside receiver, even though the analytics say he was actually a little bit more effective outside last year. I still think probably his best role is inside, but he's someone who you can kick outside if you need to. And the Jaguars are going to have so much movement, so much bunch formations, pre-snap motion, misdirection, that he can probably fulfill multiple roles within the receiving core, not just exclusively that slot type of player. He caught everything thrown his way today, had a couple big catches. So very good practice for Parker Washington. I thought that, or I didn't think that. It's fact. Cam Little was perfect today, and he's been perfect for like a week straight. I don't think he's missed a kick. He was 4 of 4 in his attempts. So great there. And then finishing off here with Trevor Lawrence, and I'll talk about Trayvon and Josh. I mean, you don't need to say a lot. They continue to dominate. These guys are two of the best players on the field every single time they go out there. It is what it is. I feel like a broken record talking about those guys. Tyson Campbell, Brian Thomas Jr., love seeing those battles in the red zone. They really get after it together, and Tyson's playing good football. Brian Thomas Jr. is playing good football overall. He did have a drop today, but he also scored a touchdown and had a couple other impressive catches against Tyson Campbell. So they go back and forth with each other. In the red zone, I think Jordan Lewis and Travis Hunter is a really good matchup as well. Those two guys get after it. You saw both of them make plays against each other today. So I think that you've got really good on good there with those receivers versus the corners. Trevor Lawrence was 11 of 18 today with 4 touchdown passes. He had 1 to Brian Thomas Jr., he had 1 to Travis Hunter, he had 1 to Brenton Strange, and he had 1 to Hunter Long. The Hunter Long one was an absolute strike. Very good throw. All of them were good throws. But he had 2 drops. Again, Travis Hunter dropped one that got intercepted by Dewey Wingard, and then Brian Thomas Jr. also dropped one over the middle of the field. It wasn't like in the breadbasket. He did have to extend a little bit for it, but it's a drop. I mean, it was a catch you have to make. It was a catch that has to be tallied as a drop without question. There wasn't really anyone too close to him to make that a difficult catch. That was a catch that he needs to make. So again, Lawrence, 11 of 18 with 2 drops, 2 throwaways, and every other pass I would say that was incomplete was either a pass breakup or a contested catch that didn't go the Jaguars' way. Like Brian Thomas Jr., there was one where, did Tyson Campbell necessarily break it up? Did Brian Thomas Jr. necessarily drop it? No, but it was a contested situation, tough situation there. And so, yeah, I think Lawrence had a really, really good day. I think he had a really good day. I think since probably last Sunday, for the last week, Trevor Lawrence has been money for the Jaguars offense. So that's going to do it for this one. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, abbreviated recap here because of some family obligations. So going to go hang out with the family. Have a good Sunday. Hopefully y'all are able to do the same. And we will be back Tuesday at practice. We'll definitely have a lot of coverage for you tomorrow, but they do not have practice tomorrow. They have practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they're getting ready for their preseason matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers, less than a week away. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Have a good one.